Hello everyone and welcome to another Dragon Ball Super discussion. Make sure that if you guys are new to the channel to subscribe. We have plenty of content for you guys to check out, ranging between video games, anime, and just college lifestyle vlogs. It is always a pleasure to have you all on, and I hope that you guys enjoy the content. So let's jump right into another exciting discussion. So not too long ago in Dragon Ball Super, we saw Krillin save Android 18 by shooting a ki blast at God knows what outside of the arena in order to fire them back into the arena proper. This kind of made me think to myself that currently in Dragon Ball Super in the Universal Survival arc, it seems like our characters definitely can fly using a particular method that each character on the Tournament of Power team is able to utilize. And I'll go into that in a minute. I also have another technique that I'll talk about that if Majin Buu was on the Universe 7 team for the Tournament of Power, that would allow each member of the Tournament of Power to fly. Also, while thinking about it, there's another method that could have been used, but I'll get into that at the very end since I just thought of it just now. So first, let's talk about the Kamehameha. Of course, it's one of Goku's signature moves, but here's something that is very important from the Daisenshu, which is an official guide of Dragon Ball Z, and it says, from this, it can be said that it is possible to use the Kamehameha merely by being able to control one's ki. Now, ki control is something that each member of Universe 7 has learned how to do, and this has been demonstrated simply by them being able to use the Bukujutsu, which allows you to fly in the first place. Bukujutsu is listed in the Daisenshu as simply being emitting ki from the entire body, allowing one to fly. So, since each member of the Universe 7 team can use Bukujutsu, that means each member of the Universe 7 team can fly. Which means each member of the Universe 7 team can use ki control. Also, you see them shoot ki blast and stuff like that. Like, I'm just saying this to get to the point of each of them should be able to use the Kamehameha, and then I'll jump into why that's significant for flying. Son Goku has used the Kamehameha from his feet before as a technique which he fires it from his feet like rocket propulsion, thrusting him toward his opponent, leaving both his hands free, enabling him to unleash various attacks. By using Kamehameha from the feet, it would allow members of the Universe 7 team to thrust themselves through the air, rotating in the air in order to change direction, refiring the Kamehameha. This essentially would allow them to use flight. And you may be like, what? Like, how would this be allowed? Well, as seen earlier, Krillin was allowed to use a ki blast in order to propel himself, somehow shooting a ki blast at something outside of the arena and shooting them back in. My friend Jay says that Krillin doesn't shoot it at anything in particular, but the force, similar to the rocket propulsion listed in the Daisenshu, with the Kamehameha from feet thing, just kind of shot them back with enough force into the arena. Similar to how Iron Man does his repulsor blast. So if that's essentially what's happening, then if the Universe 7 members use the feet Kamehameha technique in order to fire themselves around the Tournament of Power arena, they essentially would be able to not only fly per se, I mean, it's less controlled than normal flight, true, but if it allows them to fly somewhat, then it could allow them to shoot enemies from behind unexpectedly, hit anyone who happens to be behind them with a powerful blast, while still rocketing them toward opponents, allowing them to do various other attacks and barrages. They just have to be careful considering how it works, because if they fire themselves over the tournament arena edge, they would have to quickly recover, which is possible, because essentially you could do a Kamehameha from your feet. If you go too far, you kind of do a flip, and then when your feet are facing the other direction, do another Kamehameha from feet and shoot yourself back into the arena. Especially if we go with the whole repulsor blast concept, because he essentially can use it to fire himself back and forth, or herself, depending on who's using it, because Android 18 should also be capable of doing this. And I feel like it would be a really powerful technique, considering that most people are unable to fly in the Tournament of Power. Next up, we have the Transfiguration Beam. So if Majin Buu happened to be on the Universe 7 team for the Universal Survival arc, yo, right now we have Jonathan with us as well.
What's up? Hey, I'm heading out, mate.
Well, great to have you, Jonathan.
Oh, good.
Have a wonderful day. Ooh, there we are. Jumping back into the discussion, talking about the Transfiguration Beam. If Majin Buu was on the Universe 7 team, then Majin Buu would be able to use the Transfiguration Beam in order to give the members of Universe 7 wings. So if we jump in here, the Transfiguration Beam is a technique where he changes his opponent's form by firing a special beam from the tail-like antenna on his head. Since he transforms his opponent into what he imagines in his mind, he mostly changes people into candy. But essentially, because he can transform his opponent into anything he imagines, it could allow Majin Buu, if he was on the Universe 7 team, to imagine each of the members of the Universe 7 team with wings. This not only would have made cool merchandise, but it also would allow our Universe 7 team to be able to fly in the Tournament of Power, as they then would have wings thanks to Majin Buu's technique. Another strategy that I thought about as I was talking in this video was telekinesis has been demonstrated by the boy Frieza. So Frieza's ability to, and I think I'm spelling his name wrong. Yeah, there's an I. Frieza's ability to lift things with his mind could allow Frieza to lift our fighters during the tournament, allowing them to fly through the air. This has been demonstrated by Frieza before using these rocks on Namek. So with Frieza's demonstrated telekinetic ability, I could definitely see Frieza lifting our Z fighters through the air as they fight in order to give them some form of flight advantage. Frieza is not just lifting rocks, by the way, as we have seen Frieza lift members of the Universe 7 team before. And by members, I really mean Krillin when he murdered Krillin. So Frieza, it would definitely take some level of teamwork for Frieza to do this in a way that's like conducive with a fight, because essentially Frieza would have to whip his team members around as their opponents are trying to fight in order to help them dodge, as the person being lifted by Frieza's telekinesis wouldn't have control over it themselves. So I feel like telekinesis could be one way that our Universe 7 fighters could be able to fight. And Frieza is actively in the Tournament of Power at the moment. So that makes a lot of sense. Another possible way that the Tournament of Power fighters of Universe 7 could have flown would have been if they all knew shape-shifting. This is very similar to the what if Majin Buu was on the Universe 7 team argument, because essentially if they could all shape change like Puar, then the Universe 7 fighters would be able to shape-shift wings for themselves, which is something Puar has done in the past, which is weird because Puar can fly. So why give yourself wings anyways? But regardless, the Universe 7 team could have given themselves wings, allowing themselves to fly in the Tournament of Power. So those are just a few ways of how the Universe 7 team could have flown in the Tournament of Power. I hope you guys like this video. Make sure to like, favorite, and hit that subscribe button if you want to be updated with any more information. If you were interested in the idea of Universe 7 members shape-shifting, I actually have a whole video about why can't everyone shape-shift in Dragon Ball. That goes into more detail about how easy shape-shifting has been portrayed in Dragon Ball and how it seems like more characters should be able to do it. So make sure you guys also check out that video. I'd really appreciate it. And have a wonderful day, everyone. This is your host, Jet Black, logging out.